Well, greetings and hello there, boys and girls. It's me, your beloved Star Wars dad, Nooch Too Good. And the other day in Discord, I tried to find it and I could not. Someone was talking to me about whether, they should leave their guild. And I remember them saying they felt like they could be in a guild that was doing better in raids, but they had a friend in the guild. They were kind of drawn back and forth, like, should I go find a guild that's doing more they were in the Naboo raid, but not getting the crate that they felt like they should get. So should they go join a guild for that? Should they not? They had a friend in there. And so I figured that'd be worth a little kind of a free-form conversation between you and me today. When is it time to move guilds? And I'll tell you, I'll give you my story here a little bit. I've talked about it a lot. But up until about 4 years ago, I moved guilds a lot. My first year in the game, I started my own guild. Played in that for about a year, and then all of a sudden I figured out I could do better, meaning that I could push forward a little bit harder in the game. I was very casual management in the guild, and it took a lot of work. So I ended up leaving, and then we took some folks and joined another guild that was a little bit more serious. And I eventually, over the course of the first 4+ years of this game, I eventually climbed into guilds that were in the top 10 to top 20 guilds of the game. And it was great. I was super competitive at the time. We would play territory wars, and we would all enter every battle you did. You had to enter into the bot, so register that you did the battle, and they kept track of it that way. So you went and did a battle in territory wars. You had to use the team assigned. You couldn't diverge and use other teams. So there was a lot of micromanagement in it, but for me at that time of the game, it fit me a lot, and I really wanted to be in that super high competitive type of environment, and I was having fun doing it. But eventually for me that faded, and again, I'm just telling you my story here to kind of get into a little bit. We'll talk about the reasons you might leave your guild or might not here in the near future, in this video actually. So then I kind of get burned out doing that after a while though, and I didn't even realize that the activity of the guild was what was burning me out. And I actually left the game for about 4 months, and when I came back, I had some time to kind of recover and think about things, and I thought I'd left the game for good, but decided to come back when Double Drops came out, when Jedi Knight Luke was released. I'm like, these are reasons for me to get back into the game. I got back in and I said, I'm not going to do the guild chase anymore. I'm not going to chase after a top tier guild to be at the very top of the game. Instead, what I want to do is start my own guild again, and I'm going to bring on a bunch of new players. I'm going to help them learn the game. And some of these players, this is 4 years ago, some of these players I'm still playing with today. Now, we joined a new guild about 3.5 years ago, almost a little over 3 years ago, like 3 years and 3 months ago. We got together with my current guild. We brought a bunch of people over. I found some like-minded people. At the top of the guild were a few people that had really big, huge rosters. Everybody else in the guild was still learning the game, and I really enjoyed being there. We never had required farms, and even to this day, 3+ years later, we don't require farms. Now, when we get into the Rise of the Empire territory battles, you need to have all of those platoons filled. We take a look at that. And when you're filling platoons, you got to have folks that are willing to go and get a Relic 7, T-Bow, and stuff like that. So we take volunteers. We say, hey guys, we've got some spots we need to fill here. Let me find a fun one. There you go. A Relic 8 Coruscant Underworld Police. Somebody in our guild has this. I don't know who it is. A Relic 8 Poggle, Relic 8 Boba Fett. People have these characters, and we take volunteers to do them. We don't voluntold anybody. We don't have required farms. We just take the volunteers, and we always get them. We have people that are willing to do it. So I'm in a guild, 441 million galactic power. We end up getting, I think it was 29 or 30 stars in Rise of the Empire territory battles. We've got Reva. The guild is great. We've got great managers for territory battles, territory wars. We rarely used to lose. We probably lose 3 or 4 territory wars rounds every year. We went a long time and never lost one. We have a lot of great management in the guild. We do a great job while also keeping the game somewhat, I don't think casual is the right word. I think everybody in the guild that's in the guild wants to be competitive. You have to get your tickets. You have to be participating. But it's not a top tier guild where when we do a territory war battle, we got to go enter the battle into a bot so it can be tracked. We don't have every movement we have being tracked. We don't have to go grab the most recent characters. We're all free to farm and do the farms that we want to do in the game. And over time, all these people that I'm still in the guild with now and have been in the guild with for over 3 years and even 4 years with some people are still here. A lot of them now have big giant rosters, and we've had a lot of fun playing the game. We're still having fun as a guild and working together. And so that is my guild experience. Now, how did I know, or how do you know when it's time to consider leaving your current guild, or maybe it's time to look for a new guild? I got a list of reasons here. And let's talk about the one that I mentioned a moment ago, and it was raids. The person that I couldn't find the DM was saying to me, man, I just don't feel like my guild's getting enough of crates in the raids. Hey, small interruption there. My son just got his first suit. We got him a suit. He had to use it for speech and debate, and he came in and showed me his suit. He looks sharp, man. He's looking good, and he feels confident. It's good to put on a suit every now and then. It gives you a strike of confidence. Wear a suit, boys and girls. Put on a tie. Make yourself feel good. Ladies, dress up. Ladies love to dress up. I think guys are a little more resistant to it, but maybe I'll come on here with a suit. I don't know, at some point, do a nice little Calvin Awesome type of stream. Anyway, so he was saying to me he didn't think his guild was getting enough rewards in the raids. He was thinking about going to a new guild. He's like, should I go to a new guild? And I'm like, and I said, I don't know, man. You got to really think about it. Is this your main priority? Is your main priority in the game the raids? Is that what's really getting to you? You can see right here, I'm number 11 in our guild right now. 2.2 million. At the top is 9.4 million. Deacon, you're just a monster. You're just a monster. Say something in comments, Deacon. Anyway, when you look at these prize boxes, when you start at the bottom, you get 12.5, 5.5, and as soon as you get to the second crate, third crate, yeah, the third crate, your Mark 1 and Mark 2 currency are set. That's all you're getting. So as you move up in crates, you're really only impacting your Mark 3 currency. Now, I'm not saying that is not valuable. Trust me, I see the value in it. I really do. I really do. What you need to consider as a player, if you're thinking that your guild is behind in raids, is it worth it for me to leave the guild to find another guild that's doing better raids or doing better in the raids? Is my guild building up? Are they building up enough? Is my guild meeting my needs? And that's going to be a pretty consistent theme here. Your needs and your desires, your strategies change as you play the game. You know, 1 month you're this, next month you're that. You've always got different ideas about the game. And are you comfortable where you are? Do you know what you got? I think that's one thing to keep in mind too as you're looking at changing guilds. That guild may present one way, but you never really know what you got until you actually get into the new guild. It's like a job. You don't necessarily want to leave your job because some changes happen that you don't like. Because you go to that new company, you never really know what you're getting into. You know what I mean? So something to think about there. Is that your primary focus there? And then he mentioned to me that he had a friend in the guild, like a real life friend of his was in the guild with him. And I'm like, well, that may be enough for you to keep around. And if raids is the only thing you're looking at that needs improvement, is that enough to take you to another guild? Now he decided, you know what, a crate or two in the raids was not worth it for him to leave and leave that friendship behind, because he was happy with everything else in the guild. I think that's something to be said as we go through these different things that can kind of enter your mind, is that these things compile, and you have to really make a decision. Has it gotten me to the point where I am no longer comfortable in the guild? And if it's one thing, then it's one thing. That's a really big, that's a deal breaker for you. We've all got hills to die on. What are your hills? And is one of them enough, or what's going on? Another thing that can be really impact you: territory battles, territory wars. Are you getting enough rewards in territory battles? Is your guild, or maybe your territory battles is overmanaged for you. Maybe the crate you're getting in raid is overmanaged for you. Maybe your territory wars is over. It can go both ways. Maybe your guild is putting too much effort into something. You're like, man, my guild is driving me nuts. They're requiring me to farm stuff that I don't want to farm for the raid. I got this other farm going on. Maybe your guild is requiring farms of you, or not requiring farms of other people. These are the things. It's required farms, it's raids, it's territory battles, it's territory wars. And it goes both ways. Too much, not enough, requiring stuff I don't want, not requiring other people to get stuff that I do have. There's a lot of different ways to look at it, a lot of different things to take in consideration. And you got to figure out where your guild meets you at that crossroads. Now, I want to talk about, just one more thing, really. I think I've kind of covered it all there. And I think if you want to look for a new guild, by the way, go check. I got at least a couple of videos about it: how to find a new guild, how to get into a competitive guild. I'll put one at the end of this video. I'll probably have already pinned one earlier in this video. I try to pin stuff early on, but if you want to hang on to the very end, there'll be a link to a how to get a guild video at the end of this. Now, with all that said, there is one thing for me that is an absolute deal breaker, and quite honestly, unless you're just a super casual player, and if you're super casual, you're probably not watching this video. The one thing that's a deal breaker for me is a lack of management, a lack of leadership, a lack of holding people accountable. When we look at our guild, and I have not checked this, by the way, 600 tickets. Oh, the day just started, so we got a lot of resets going on here. I won't be able to look at it right now, but if I get to the end of the day, like if I came in here like 2 hours ago, when's our reset? It doesn't even tell us on here. If I came in here a couple hours ago and like these zeros were showing here a couple hours ago and nothing was being said to anybody and nothing was in Discord chat or in game chat or wherever being managed, I might start to have some real questions about what's going on at the top of our guild. What are our leaders doing? Are they really paying attention to what's going on? That is not an issue in our guild. We have great leadership. We have people who own each individual aspect of the game. They do tremendous work. And I've been with Onyx, as I said, our leader here. I went back in my DMs in Discord. We've been talking with each other for almost 3.5 years. So great relationships here. Everybody does a good job. Our non-zeros, our non-O's turn into question marks. It is what it is. But if you're in a guild that's not actively being managed at all, specifically for tickets, if nobody's paying attention to anything, your territory wars aren't being managed, your territory battles aren't being managed, it's just a free-for-all, then you, as a competitive player, if you are watching this video, it is highly likely that you are wanting to be a competitive player or already are a competitive player. If you're in that guild where it's just catch as catch can, do what you want to do, don't do what you don't want to do, we don't care, you get your tickets, fine, you don't get your tickets, no big deal. That is a casual guild. And whatever your situation, if you want to be a competitive player, you are not going to move forward in this game. Well, I should say it's going to slow down it's going to hold back your progress big time if you're not in an active guild. You'll be doing a lot less raids. You're getting a lot less rewards from territory battles, territory wars. All those aspects of the game are going to give you a lot less rewards. So for me, that's the one deal breaker is bad management or mismanagement or no management at the top of your guild. So take a look out for those things. And by the way, again, that is on a sliding scale for everybody too. You know, I think that people that are in like Maw or Caw would look at our guild and say, you guys aren't managing this tightly enough. You need to be on this, on that. You need to really manage and make pub. And we aren't like that. Now, we do manage tightly. We have Deacon and Single Malt Jedi really manage hard for our TBs. I don't even know who's in charge of TWs, but it might be Onyx actually still in charge. Our leaders just do so much stuff to make sure that everybody's active, to make sure we're getting the stuff we need for our farming. I am an officer in name only. Yes, that's not me. That's not. I see Newts there. That's not me. I'm actually not. I don't think I'm an officer anymore. Where am I? Yeah, I'm not. I'm just a member. Good. Okay. I see that Nooch there. That's my original account, my OG account, being managed today by Single Malt Jedi. Nooch and Roland, we were the guys that managed the accounts at different times. Anyway, that's my deal breaker. So there you go, boys and girls. It's all about degrees of importance to you and to your game and where you feel it is. Is the raid important enough? Is TWTB important enough? Is your guild being managed? Are we farming stuff you do want to farm or don't want to farm? You have to weigh all those things into consideration and consider if you're really feeling it. Honestly, if you've been asking yourself for months and months and months, is it time to leave my guild? Maybe it is. Or if you're looking and saying, you know what? It's just a raid. It's just a couple of crates. Everything else I'm really happy with. I'm going to settle in here and be fine for a long time. You could be happy in a guild for years and years and years, just like yours truly. That's all I got to say. I know it's a little rambling. I just kind of wanted to have an open-end conversation about this today. I thought it was worth it. Let me know your feelings about it in the comments. Is there anything that I missed discussing whether it's time to leave your guild or things to take into consideration as you look at how you feel about your guild? You could also look at relationships, like maybe you just think everybody in your guild is a big douchebag, or there's a couple of jerks in there that are really making you crazy. Maybe it's time to get out too, because if your guild leader isn't going to manage those people and hold them to account for being jerks, maybe it's time to move on from there as well. Have a great day, guys. I really would love to hear from you on this one. I will talk to you soon, and always remember, Nooch too good.